Shall we talk about um the Oxford tutor with massive fake tits and a beard? Uh, Matt Rattley has his various photos of him have been setting the internet alight. There's no suggestion that this person is transgender. By the way, he does not identify as a woman, but does turn up to lots of I think tutorials and certainly lectures and public events at the University of Oxford. He's a biochemist, um, wearing these sort of comedy prosthetic breasts, and he's got kind of a full beard and balding. I don't know what you guys make of it. I think it's like
My browsing history is full of that man.
it's a delightful sight.
I think, again, not to sort of dwell on it too much, but that you might call it multiculturalism or just postmodernism or whatever. Everyone's a blank slate. We can all do what we want and so on. And lovely, lovely idea, utopian ideal. I mean, maybe it's not lovely actually. It's quite sort of Aldous Huxley, isn't it? It's quite Brave New World, and we're all just a blank slate, and whatever the culture is, nothing seems to matter. And not only culture, but your sex. You could be a man, you could be a woman. And obviously, the issue with it, aside from it just being a really banal and boring way to have a society, the issue is always that there's going to be a percentage of horrible, horrible people. That's always been the problem for humanity since we started making settlements. There's always been, 1 to 5% of us have been urchins who just want to ruin it for everyone else. It's just a fact. And so there will be guys who, unfortunately, lovely idea, we can all be men, or even though you can't, there will be some guys who have fetishes and who, I mean, this guy, I don't want to make claims about what he's really thinking, because who knows? But I mean, I think I will do that and just say, yeah, he's got a fetish. He's going around with breasts on. We would have recognized that 20 years ago, as this is a man with a fetish who's now playing out his sexual fantasy in front of young, vulnerable students whose work he presumably marks. And there's a power differential why he goes around doing that. I was talking before we got on about a guy who was fired for hugs. He was hugging people in his office during the Me Too movement. Um, Now you've got a guy teaching at Oxford who's got fake tits out everywhere. That should be fired instantly. Probably should be arrested. Public indecency, like that. That's mental. But I don't know. What do you think?
Ted Baker Man should have identified as a woman or something, and then it might have been a lot harder to get rid of him. Yeah, unless it could be I hope it's a practical joke.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Like, you can only hope that it's just an elaborate practical joke, like a genius bit of almost absurdist political statement to say, will they even accept this? Will they even allow me to do this?
What about there was an American one.
Yeah, Canadian.
Yeah, Kyla something.
Kyla Lemieux, and even bigger, actually, much bigger breasts.
You know these very well.
I know, I'm very familiar. Know all the big-breasted transgender teachers. Yeah,
He's writing a history of this.
that was a what's it? What do they call it? Shop teacher.
Yeah,
and,
like the woodwork.
Woodwork, yeah.
DT or whatever we would call it.
DT, yeah, and I think it was I don't know. It was suspected that he might have actually been a sort of 4chan member and was trying to see what he could get away with, and he certainly got away with a lot because the school really rallied to his defense as soon as the pictures started going up.
Because that's the thing. There are only kind of three coherent explanations. One of which is it is an elaborate prank. The other which is this person's just severely mentally ill. The final one is that it's some sort of fetish. Either way, this should not be tolerated in the workplace. Like if he came to work in a gimp suit, would that be completely acceptable? If he came to work insisting that he was actually Postman Pat and refused to be, addressed by anything other than that, would that maybe come up at some sort of future, kind of appraisal meeting and say, you know what, this is actually getting in the way of other people's learning and work. You might have to calm this down or work somewhere else. But no, because of the muddle that we've got ourselves into, any claim must be either accepted or just kind of politely ignored and allowed to carry on, because you can't have such a thing as standards, particularly when it comes dressed up in something which at least looks like gender or sexuality or something. Even if it's not quite that, what else is going on? That just is the free pass, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. It just dips its toe into the gender thing, and then everyone has to freeze. Bring your whole self to work. So you think, is that a good idea?
As a woodwork guy. Do you think the breasts make his wood work?
Oh,
Not going to get a better ending than that.